I went to Houston to pick this machine up from Rippa's warehouse. I have never operated an articulated loader before. This is my brand new telescopic arm articulated loader. This is an all-wheel drive Kubota diesel D1105 machine with an 11-foot lift on it. I went to Houston to pick this machine up from Rippa's warehouse. It's one of two U.S. warehouses that Rippa has. I have never operated an articulated loader before, but I see them at all the shows. I know they're really expensive, and this one is not. This is the Rippa RL06. That's Rippa Loader 06. It's similar to the Rippa RS06, which is the Rippa Skid Loader 06, and the 06, it has a Kubota D1105. That's a 3-cylinder diesel, 1.1 liter, 25 horse engine. And today, you and I are gonna walk around this thing and operate it and see if this is something you might want for your property. Now, coming up, I'm gonna do a comparison video between a mini skid steer, a compact tractor, and this articulated loader. I plan to line up 3 Kubota D1105 machines: tractor, skid loader, articulated loader, and we're gonna compare them all and see which one would be best for your property. But right now, let me get this thing unloaded and let's go take it out of the yard and let's see what it's all about. I got this machine from Rippa in their warehouse down in Houston, Texas. Now, if you want to get one of these, I know GSA Equipment in Ohio has some on order and they should be arriving there probably by the time that this video drops. So if you do want one of these, call over there to GSA, mention this channel, Our Life in Trees, for a $200 discount. Now, GSA is the second largest Rippa dealership in America. So they have all kinds of inventory. They've got stuff in stock and they ship across the country. So if you do want to get a Rippa product, you have a lot of options, and that's the one that I personally choose because they stand by their products and they're one of the only dealerships with RL06s in stock. Because it doesn't tear up your lawn. This dude, you can do circles all day and you're not gonna hurt your lawn. And that is one of the biggest selling points about this machine. And it's so easy to drive. It's like a car, put it in reverse and you go backwards. sunshade canopy. Want to relax? Put your arms on the armrest. You want to recline? Recline that seat back and just chill. This is one of the more pleasurable machines I've operated. I honestly wasn't sure about this machine at first. It kind of looks like one of those baggage handler little machines you see at the airport out on the runway, you know? It's like, yeah, I don't know about that thing. But now that I've used it a little bit, I am dying to put some hours on it and see what it can really do. So let me give you an up close and personal tour of this and the knowledge I have gained on it in playing with it for the last couple hours. First off, it has tires. These are Talibao 26 by 12 by 12. What that means is the overall height of this is 26 inches. The width of the tires is 12 inches, and it's mounted on a 12-inch wheel. On the front, you have the same thing, 26 by 12 by 12. They have these little valve stem protectors, which is kind of cool. It's got some beefy looking lug nuts on it, and these tires have a pretty solid knobby pattern to them. They kind of look like some UTV, ATV tires. So on the front here, you have fenders, and they're cheap plastic fenders, right? No. These actually are pretty stout. It's actually a pretty serious little fender you got there. On the rear, it kind of has a fender. This here, this is your fuel tank. This is an open cavity. The fuel tank is just this back portion. The front portion, that's where your exhaust from your muffler right here, which I'll show you in a minute. It comes down into this cavity, and then it's open on the bottom, and there's your muffler. On the front, you have a little fender right by your step. And your step has quite a bit of traction. You don't have to worry about slipping on that mud, rain, dry, anything. Move around back, you can see your engine is back in here. It has these nifty little tail lights. Let's pull the plastic off of these tail lights. Since, yeah, we don't need the brand new look anymore. There we go. So you can see here is your radiator, and then you've got a cooler right behind that. This did not come on it from the factory, but since I've never operated one before, I just want you to know I'm a beginner. Here, don't swirl the hockey puck over grass. No hockey pucks over grass. Oh, you know what? That might mean don't tickle the radiator cap because it has grass. I don't know. Something about being hot. Now here, caution, do pet the grass. Caution, if you do pet the grass, be careful. Here, don't spin hockey pucks over grass. So it has a counterweight here, pretty sizable little counterweight, and a trailer hitch. And you can take this off and you can change out your trailer balls. You can actually pull this off and you can put a strap on there. You can wrap chains around it. I mean, I can think of all kinds of uses for that. Over on this side, this is your hydraulic fill tank right here. And you can see your hydraulic level. And as we move across, you have an access cover here. This is all hydraulic tank. This whole thing. That's kind of cool. Another step. You've got some grease fittings right here. Up to the front, more tires. And on this side, you've got some safety features. This is your safety bar. When you raise the arm all the way, you take this off, put it on this cylinder so the cylinder can't fall. And then this, if you pull these two pins, you take this thing, put it on a pin here, put it on a pin here, and for traveling, it won't articulate. Now on the front, this is where the business happens. You've got your headlights, which are LED low beams and high beams, plus you've got your marker light and turn signal. Now this arm here, RL06, you get crushed by blocks, stay away from blocks because of the crushing. And you can see here you've got metal lines running down the arm. And now this is a floppy part that's all protected in this wrap. That's because when you telescope it out, this has to move. Now you can add some hydraulic attachments to the front here. It has an attachment plate that you can swap stuff around, which we're gonna do in a minute because I have pallet forks on the trailer we're gonna put on this. So you see this hydraulic line coming down and going here? Let me show you what that is. So for this attachment plate, it hooks in here, and those hydraulic lines, they go to the pin. See that pin move? That's what holds the attachment on. It's so cool. On this side, again, you have another hydraulic fitting here and a valve. And stay away from the bending of the articulated loader because it can crush you. So on this side, we have the same thing. We've got the metal lines. You've got the soft line for the telescoping boom. Here in the front, apparently there's a horn inside there. You have an access cover here, here, and you can see the business end of this. Now this is some thick metal. Like this is stout. Oh, let's pull that off. So on this business end, look at this. So the cylinder comes out and pushes on that, which moves this, which pulls on this, and it all works together. It's pretty darn cool. I don't know if you've noticed, but look at the size of that bucket. It's massive. This comes with a massive bucket. Now I'm gonna pull my tape measure out and we're gonna measure everything on this so that we know the specs of this machine. So grease fittings, everything has a grease zert. You've got not little needle fittings, but you have proper grease fittings here. You've got a grease fitting on this. You've got a grease fitting down in here. I mean, everywhere you look, this dude's got grease fittings. This one is on this side. It is a needle fitting. You can grease this, you can grease this, you can grease this, you can grease here. You can grease everything on this. So here's the operator station. On the front, you notice it has lights up here to go along with these lights. And as it gets dark, I'm going to show you these lights. You also have mirrors. And these mirrors actually work. They're a little flimsy and floppy and they do vibrate, but they work. If you wanted to change them out, it's 2 bolts. I'm sure you could get some. Probably some side-by-side UTV mirrors would probably work well on this. I'm actually wondering if I want to take these 2 little lights off and get a light bar maybe that goes across the front here. So this cage, this is a real cage. This is an official ROPS. It's one of the only Chinese machines I've come across that actually has a certified ROPS. Rollover protection system. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And see this cheapy little metal sunshade? Nope. That is a steel plate above your head. Now this part where you can see out of the holes, this is so you can see when you lift your bucket or your load way up high. This is thinner. This is not so thick, but it does add some protection. But this, that is solid. This whole cage is solid. This is your battery on off here. This is your key switch on off. Back behind here, you have a fuse box. If you need to get to your fuses, they're easily accessible behind this cover. See this boot? This looks kind of strange, doesn't it? Nope, not strange. This is your tilt steering boot. So you can tilt this for your own comfort. There is a cab option apparently, and that's where the wiper and the fan switches come from. They're not hooked up to anything. But this headlight switch, that operates these two lights here. This is your brake pedal. Over here, this is your throttle. This is your gas pedal. If you need to restrict the throttle for whatever reason, I believe you can unscrew this bolt and bring it up and keep it so you can't put the throttle as far down as somebody might want to go. So these armrests are part of your safety cage setup. You can flick them up so big boys can jump in, and then when you get in, you flip them down and it helps hold you in. Mind you, this seat's got some pretty nice bolsters and a proper seat belt. So let me show you. Step on the step, pull yourself up. If you need more room, move your tilt. You also can move the seat bottom, and you can slide that forward and back. And I think I've already showed you the recline feature. So if you need comfort, it's a pretty good machine for comfort, honestly. So I hear a lot of comments from people that just no visibility, you can't see anything. Well, my head's up here, and this thing in front of me is right there. I mean, I have all the visibility in the world. I mean, seriously, you can't see? What can't you see? You've got all the visibility you ever need. You've got mirrors. You can see your tires. I mean, you can see everything around you. Now, something I did notice, you can't see the angle of the bucket. Look at that. Now you can see where your bucket needs to be. You need it level with the ground. Now you can see it. Turn it straight. You're perfectly level. So I don't know. I think visibility wise, this looks pretty solid. Now from where I'm sitting, now you can start to see the point of those holes. So you can see your load up there, right? But there's more. See how that telescopic boom is rolling away? And I can still see through these holes. So I'm not sure about the visibility stuff. Take a look. Let's turn the wheel. I don't know. It looks like you can see pretty well with this thing. And you can see how far out you need to put your load. And you can see through the holes. I kind of feel like they've thought of a lot of things on this thing that make it pretty useful. So since we have it running, here's our gauges. On the gauges, you've got your tachometer on the top there, 1400. See, as I step on the gas. Over here shows what gear you're in. Here you're in neutral, that's your forward, and that's your reverse. It shows your battery light, we're good. We're running 14.4 volts. My fuel's at 60%, and my temperature's at 59 degrees Celsius. That's 138 degrees Fahrenheit. I also have 4 hours on it. I'm not sure what the hour is. The hourglass, maybe hour meter, I've got 4 hours. Now you can kind of see here, there are some more lights. Not sure what they all are, but there are dummy lights on this. See this horn button? It doesn't do anything. This is your horn. It's so cute. I like this little suicide wheel. You'd be amazed how handy that becomes. You can just turn so fast because of that little wheel. Now this is your headlight switch, so it's kind of strange. This is down here. That's your marker lights. This is off headlights, and now your high beams. This also has turn signals. There's your left, there's your right. It's kind of cool actually, like a little car. Easily flip down your armrests, easily grab your parking brake. Over here, this joystick, you pull back and your arm's going up. Push forward, your arm goes down. Move it to the right, your bucket goes down. Move this to the left, tilt your bucket up. Now here's where it gets complicated. This is drive. That's forward. This is reverse. This is neutral in the middle. Remember, your dash is going to tell you where you're at. So these two buttons, if you hit this button, that's your telescope in. This is your telescope out. This here, this is your attachment. Remember those pins? Unlock, lock. That's how you set your attachment. It's pretty darn user-friendly. So while you're sitting here, this is pretty darn easy to operate. What I didn't know until getting this, I knew that it pivots right here in the middle. See that to the left, go to the right, and you can see how it pivots. I did know that. What I didn't know is that not only does the front end pivot this way and this way, but it also goes like that. Watch the front as I go over bumps. See that? See it kind of rock back and forth as it goes over the bumps? I did not know it did that. It's so cool. It's really so cool. I've not had a toy like this before. And that's your key off. I actually have plenty of headroom, so I'm in this. I don't worry about my head. I'm 6 feet tall. If I were to sit perfectly upright, my head does hit the top. But I'm lounging. I got all kinds of space here. And there's nothing behind my head to hit it on. So, bunch of positives about this cab. If you need a fire extinguisher, I've got one right here. If I want to keep my lunch in a thermos, I'm just kidding. I think it's for your owner's manual. So this is for your owner's manual, and this is your fire stop right there. So some more interesting things to note. This, I think this is lumbar. I'm not positive, but I think that's what it is. See this? Unlock. There's a keyhole and a handle. This has like the most accessible engine you can imagine. So if you need to work on it, first off, it's a Kubota D1105. It's got all the info right there. You can see the Kubota stickers on it. Now this is your air intake, which goes over here to your air box. That's your air filter. On the other side, this is your exhaust manifold. It's so cute. goes into this exhaust with a muffler blanket on it, and then that goes, like I showed earlier, down underneath. You can see your alternator, your coolant comes in here, your fan is right there on the back of the radiator, your oil dipstick is just right here. Now this is a fuel filter, you've got your fuel pump, you've got your oil water separator, which is kind of a pain to get to. It is it is back there. See it right there? So that is kind of a pain to get to. Now coming out of that, you have this bottle. And this is how you're going to prime and bleed your diesel system. So pretty easy to get to. Now something I didn't mention, you have to have weight on the seat to be able to operate it. Without weight on the seat, you can't use many of the controls. So this stick, all your controls are right here. Your wires are here, your hydraulic lines are there. Now it does come with a backup beeper. See this? This is your backup beeper, and I unplugged it first thing because I hate that beeping. So if you need the safety of a backup beeper, this does come with one. Now over on this side, you can see your fuel system a little bit better. There's your hydraulic oil filter, which I believe you can access by pulling off that cover, possibly a little bit easier. But you can see you have pretty much easy access to everything. Now here's your pump. And there is an auxiliary pump up in front of that, which is right underneath this cover. So this cover, 4 bolts here. It's got a bolt and a nut on the back side on these ones. And you pull this cover off and you can access that front pump, and your computer is right there too, underneath that. So they do make this fairly easy to get to. I mean, you can pull this cover off here and get to everything underneath your steering. You know, I already mentioned the cover here, the cover here. I mean, there's little covers everywhere. If you did want to pull your cab off, you can undo your cage. Looks like a couple bolts here. You've got 3 bolts back here, and you can take your cage off. And then you've got these 2 bolts on the front, 2 bolts on this side, and 2 bolts on the rear. I think unplug some wires and such in your controls. And if you needed to, you could take this all apart and do an engine swap. And maybe put like a LS swap in it or something like that. Maybe do a 327 stroker. I don't know. Do wheelies. Brrr. So there's your engine tour, and look how solid that is. I mean, it just works. So I am excited to see what this machine is going to do. Let me go drive it around and show you guys a little bit of it up close and personal, and driving over a few things. Let's grab those pallet forks, put it on there, get a tape measure, and let's get some measurements of this machine. So even with my tilt setup and my armrest setup, I can still get in and out of this pretty easily. You just fire up that key. Oh, you can't start it if it's in gear. I left it in forward. You have to put it in neutral to be able to start it. But once it's started, everything's so easy. And I didn't show you what the arm looks like. So we lift it up, and you want to hit that telescope feature. There's your telescope. And then that's as high as you're going to go. But that's high. Like, that's really high. I don't even know if it fits in the screen. So you can't do the telescope and move the arm at the same time. But let me show you driving. Driving, I can operate all the controls while driving. So, big plus there. Let me go show you some of what it can do. You know what I didn't do? I didn't give you a good look at the lights. See, here's your taillights, they're LED. Over here, you got your markers in the rear. And a turn signal in the front. See, here's your headlights. Super bright. Here's your low beams. Now, if I go turn the turn signal on, got that big old bright, looks like 3 LED bulbs in there. And back here, it's that yellow. And for your brake lights, you have legitimate brake light too. Here's your left turn signal. And there's your left right here. So one thing I haven't found, it doesn't have hazards. Oh, and this light here. So I've got the top lights on, I've got the headlights on, and this dude is bright. Let me show you the ditch. Now, my camera's a little lower on me than my head. My head level's up here. So, just remember that. I just turned in the sand, barely leaves tracks. Here, we've got pallet forks that Rippa sent me along with the loader so we can do some real work with this thing. And I want to do a lift test. How much can it lift? How much can it lift with the arm extended? Now it's rated at 1,400 pounds, I think, and half of that for the arm extended. Those are pretty cool, actually. Holy cow. These are heavy. Let's see if I can pick it up from here. So to drop an attachment, come up. You want to set your attachment down, undo your pins, and you just back away. It's literally that easy. Lock them in. Aha! It's that easy. You gotta be kidding me. I'm in shock at how easy that is. Oh my gosh. Why can't all machines be that easy? You know how much struggle I've had in my life and many skid steers trying to get attachments on them sometimes? That, holy cow, children could do that. A 2-year-old could do that. Anybody that can operate this machine can easily do attachments from the seat. So this attachment plate, it's got these hooks here at the top. It's got the pins at the bottom. When you press that button, see that pin comes out? That big, huge pin holds in the bottom, and the top just hooks on. And there's a little bit of slack, which means there's forgiveness when you're hooking it up. It's not like those mini skid little dingo CII plates. That is the easiest thing I've ever seen. Like that I did from the comfort of my recliner on the machine. Look at that. Basically what I've got here is a compact telehandler, you know? Oh, that's so cool. Let's go see what this thing can lift. Here's my first real test. Okay. So clearly, it can move stuff. But how well? That remains to be seen. So the farther you put the arm out, the tippier it is. Yeah, we just lost lift. But if I bring it back, I get my lift back. Yeah, because it's just a big lever. So I'm not going to be able to lift this one up. I can lift it when it's short, but I can't lift it when it's tall. Okay, let's try something different. If you need to access something up high, think about what you could do with this. I could lift someone on the roof of the shop. Crazy. We're gonna try the concrete blocks. Now this is way over its rated capacity, so we're gonna have to take blocks off. Yeah, we're not lifting that. Not gonna happen. But coming off the ground, it felt super safe. So this isn't one of those deals that when it starts tipping, you feel like you're gonna die. I mean, that was totally under control. So I could feel when it's going, and I'm sure you guys could see when the wheels are coming off the ground. So, you know, like it's not even a scary thing, you know? Now, if I were super high, or if I lifted something in that tip, that would be scary, but this is not. So we're gonna have to take weight off and figure out how much this dude can lift. Just in case you're wondering, this is, I think, a little over $2,000 of blocks. It's got these heavy forks. It's got 2 pallets, one on top, one on bottom, and 2 RS6-2-3-Pro-Amateur attachment plates. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. Maybe almost 2,500 pounds, somewhere between 22 and 2,500. And this is rated at 1,400, so I already knew it couldn't lift it, but let's just see. I'm gonna lift this up just a little bit. And now when they're off the ground, we can see when it starts to tip. I'm gonna start moving blocks over, and let's see how much weight this dude can handle. That's 960 pounds. Whew, broke a sweat. That is over the rated capacity for the telescoping arms. Let's see. So that's no problem. Here's where we're gonna tip. Ready? Yep. So I put too much on it because now we can't see. I'm gonna have to take some off. Max lift, and I still got curl, by the way. So some of the machines, when you lift them up all the way, or you lift heavy weights, they can't curl, but this dude can still curl. Whoa, it slid back. Let me backtrack just a little bit. Let's get some weight off. Let's see what it can lift with just the, you know, the telescoping part. May as well do extra work when you can, right? Just to stay in shape. You know the kid that got in trouble, moved the bricks from one side of the yard to the other? And then when you're done, move them back just as a punishment. Why do I feel like I'm punishing myself? Okay, let's do this again. Okay. Now it's a little tippy. Yeah. It looks like we got it. saying this dude can't lift anything. I mean, I don't know what you're lifting at home. But I'm thinking, if you can lift 600 pounds on an 11-foot boom, I mean, think about that for loading a trailer. You just lift it up, you want to go, you know, let me show you how this works. This is where this machine really shines. You drive up to your trailer and you need to set something down. Where you want to set it? You want to set it on the other side? I am literally on the other, actually, I just passed the trailer up. Look at that. Okay. Wow. Just think of all the things you could do with this thing. I mean, come on. Really? So check this out. Just wanted to share this with you. I just was moving this over here to do the next thing. And look, it's my dear friends. Yeah, I don't know why they're just laying here. Like, they're just right here. I don't know why. Hey guys, I get you some corn later? Yeah, that's my dear friends. That's cool. Okay. I literally can load that. I really didn't know what I'd think about it. I really think it's a pretty weird semen machine. And it's not for everyone. But I can certainly see a lot of potential uses for this thing. Wow. I did point out to you how it doesn't tear up the grass, right? All right, I'm sold. I mean, think about it. Like, example, you're building this shed and you need to put the roof trusses on, you know, the ceiling joists. You need to put shingles on the roof. You got a guy up there and then somebody else just drives up and lifts it to him. I mean, look at this. I mean, seriously, say what you want. It might not be for you, but what machine do you have that can lift that high? I mean, that's nuts. I'm about to build the carports. I'm gonna build some tiny house cabins coming up soon. I gotta paint some stuff on the top of my house. This and a safety cage. I mean, just putting material on a pallet and lifting it up. You don't have, I mean, if you're lifting machines, if you got a 3,000 pound machine, you got it in a crate and you wanna lift it up on top of your roof, it's not gonna happen. This is not your machine. But some homeowner duty, this might, we'll see over a long-term test, this might be better than your compact tractor. This might be better than your mini skid steer. I mean, are you gonna go through swampy areas? This probably isn't your machine. You want tracks, you know? You don't want to tear up your grass? This might be your machine. You need to lift 2,000 pounds? This is not your machine. You know, but every machine has a place. And this, so far, has been great and is enjoyable. So this is going to dig a ranch. This is going to do some real work out there. And the size of the bucket and how easy it is to change. Let me pull out the tape measure. We're gonna finish up this video with some measurements and let's really see how big this dude is. Let's get some measurements. So the width of the machine, actually coming out from the machine, your tires stick out 4 3/4 inches. So we can't just go by the whole width of the machine, which looks like you're right about 36, because you're gonna add on that basically 10 inches, 5 inches on each side. And your rear end, yep, 45, because it's just under 5 inches. So yeah, 45 inches wide on the rear. But now the front, you've got these fenders that stick out quite a bit. So with the fenders, you're looking at 48 inches wide on the front, because the fenders stick out, 2 inches further than the tires in the front, which is handy. Now, overall height of the machine, so from the top of that thing, whatever that piece of metal is, down to the ground, looking 88 inches, 7 feet, 4 inches. This cage is pretty big on the top. We're looking at 51 inches. And then the width of the cage, we're looking at 31 inches wide. So now the real question is, without an attachment on this, We're looking about 126 inches, which is 10 feet 6 inches. But now we need to get to the bucket because this bucket's gigantic. This is my largest capacity bucket. The width of the bucket, you're looking at 45 inches, actually 45 and a quarter. The height of the inside, just under 2 feet at 23 inches. And the depth, well, that's tricky. 16 inches, like it's 16 inches coming across here, but then it's rounded in the back. So we'll say right there, it's 21 inches to right here. And then this amazing attachment plate setup, Euro Global, I believe. It's 23 3/4 inches from end to end, in between 21 3/4. And then you've got where your pins go in. So that is so cool. The real question is, what can it lift? Let's see. So from the ground to the pivot point right here, I mean, this thing sticks up 66 inches. The pivot's at 63. 63 is 5 foot 3 inches. Overall, it's 5 foot 6 inches up here. So that's pretty darn tall, but it allows you to go over things. Normal lift height. Eight feet 10 inches, which is 106 inches. 8 feet 10 inches. Wow. Let's put the boom out. $128 inches, or 10 feet 8 inches. I'm 6 feet tall. Look at that. That's sick. So with this closed up, you've got a 1-inch gap in between. With this extended, you've got it's 30 1/4 inches. It comes out basically just over 2 feet 6 inches. That's pretty wicked. Up close and personal, doesn't look like there's some paint right there, but it's got some little plastic bushings, it looks like, on both sides of this. So I might want to hit this with a little bit of paint. But yeah. That's how that comes out. Inside there, it's really hard to see. But that's what it looks like inside. So you've got the cylinder for this. There's the grease point for that one. And this is what moves in and out. Right there. Check out the movement of all of this. So let me show you how the attachment works again. Over here, this button, that down locks it in, and up opens the pins, and then you pull over to the right, that comes out. Put it in reverse. And you drive away. So you hook these hooks right here, and then you've got this cylinder. When you press it, these pins come out and go into these holes. It's really that easy. So let me show you how this works. Tilt this down, you drive up to it, you kind of get in the general vicinity, you come up, you tilt it back, hit your pins, you are now locked in. See? Locked in. And you can operate while you're driving. So while I'm cruising along, I can do whatever I want to do. Except I don't think you can telescope and lift at the same time. Nope, it drops. So you can either lift up or you can telescope. I had no idea. I just had no idea. That is cool. Articulated loaders are cool. I'll be right back. Say what you want. That's serious. Well, that's serious, man. Holy cow. What if you got up in that with a 9.5 foot pole saw? You're 10 feet up, standing there, so I'm holding it probably 3-4 feet off the, we'll say 4 feet, maybe even 5 feet off the ground, and another 10 foot. So you cutting up into trees 20 some foot? I'm using that for sure. That's nuts. I mean, even if you don't have it extended, take a look. I mean, come on. So this, yeah, there's a little refresher. Here's what we know. Kubota D1105 diesel, all-wheel drive, almost 11 foot lift extended. You've got over 8 foot lift without extension. It goes about 5 miles per hour. It climbs hills. It gets into tight spaces. It doesn't tear up your lawn. Telescopic articulated loaders. Man, that might be the thing. It might be. It might not be. It might be mini skids for you. It might be a compact tractor. Maybe you need a big skid. I don't know. Everyone has different needs and different purposes, but this seems, in my 3 to 4 hours on it, like a pretty darn solid machine. And let me show you something I haven't shown you. You see this? You see how you're blinded by the sun off my bald head? Let me show you something this can do my mini skids can't and some of your tractors can't. I am sitting in the shade. I'm sitting in a comfy recliner on a hot sunny day in the shade. I mean, come on. This is my new favorite toy. All right, if you want to get one of these, like I said, GSA Equipment, they've got some coming. They'll be in stock probably by the time this video is published. You get a $200 discount if you mention this channel. Thanks to Rippa for letting me play with this toy, because man, this is cool. Like it's honestly so much cooler than I thought it would be. Yeah, so stay tuned to the channel to see more on this, more on the mini skids, more on the mini excavators. I actually have some new machines coming that you haven't seen before. and I'll be the first to test out some more cool new machines out at my property, Digger Ranch, where I'm gonna put them through their paces, and I'm gonna beat on them. Leave in the comments what you wanna see. Leave in the comments something I missed in this video that you wanna know. And have yourself a great day, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. At the time of this filming, at 88,000 subscribers, and I really wanna hit that 100,000 mark and have that silver play button that you guys helped to earn, you know, all together making this content. So thanks again for your support. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm gonna go play because this thing's crazy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I did forget to mention, it does have this seat pocket, and I've got some of my camera gear. I've got my tape measure. It's even got a little place to put my gloves right by this. Man, I think I need to get a storage bin back here, but that's hot. This gets hot. I've got it. I've got a storage bin. Ha! Okay, that's coming video. I've got modifications coming to my articulated loader, the RL06. See you at the next one.